Hello everyone. This is my introduction to my YouTube channel, Bella Divine. The Bella Project. The official Bella Project. The reason I'm here is because if any of you see me on Facebook, that wasn't working out. Not at all. They allowed me to go public, but only because they wanted to have a larger audience to do something childish, like something that's supposed to embarrass me so bad that I was going to be ashamed or like, oh, run away like a little kid. I don't know. They're just childish. They would do things like not allow me to have my videos public, or when I was posting evidence of backing up the things that I said, to verify that I was telling the truth. I'm not just talking out the side of my neck, and this is not something that's in the illusionary world. It's in the real world. Well, they don't like that. They hate the fact that I was actually posting things that was making their secrets revealed, but it's to help the public. And I'm producing quality material. They would do things like kick me off or log me out, and then when I try to log back in, they wouldn't give me right numbers to log back into. 4 pages in 1 year? How many of you have had that many pages? And then, the money you can make from, posting, regularly and on time and within their guidelines, they send it to, my rapists. Knowing they had all my billing information. They had no reason to do that. But they would send it to him. They gave him $65,000 before. He gave it to, one of the other rapists. And that person, Christopher Kirby, and his mother, Levita Dickinson, took the check and cashed it and kept it. This is just crazy. I can at least say, I don't know how it ended up that YouTube was in court with my rapist. But they ordered him to pay me my money, which was $124,000. He still ain't give it to me. He just won't give it to me. No matter what the judge said, won't give it to me. So I can say whatever. I can at least say YouTube, at least did something to back me up. So I'm here. I was told they was really jealous because I still watched YouTube. I'm like, what the fuck? They just want me to just dish YouTube completely and just be like, oh, allegiance to Facebook and no other app, just Facebook and Instagram, Facebook and Instagram. I'm like, I don't owe allegiance to no goddamn body but God. What the fuck does some man or some app want me to give total allegiance to them? Not happening. Yeah, let me find out later. Mark Zuckerberg happens to be one of the people that spies on me through hidden spy cameras. Don't you, Mark? I know you're watching right now. You're probably listening right now through one of the cameras that's in my ceiling fan. Either way, their history, and I don't live in history. So, what we're going to do here? I have a lot to learn. Again, I was just learning all the bullshit on Facebook, but now I'm going to learn how to do and organize the messages that I want to get out. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do the listen up messages from heaven. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that. Because when God made me deliver the first message verbally to my sister, which is on the channel already, I posted that video up. And it's under messages to the religious leaders from God, from Jehovah. I was shocked. I was like, wait a minute. I usually write these things, and I hadn't even written that many from him. heaven is different. You know, we have a good relationship. I can just write down those messages and I'm good. But to verbally do them, I don't know. So I have to talk to him, see what we're going to do. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. If it's going to be here or somewhere else. I'm not sure. But if any of you saw, I'm trying to get the last video that I recorded on YouTube up. And I found out what the whole big secret was. Some of my earlier videos, I was documenting me being homeless and me co-creating with heaven, and so that everybody can visually see how co-creating with heaven, you can make shit happen. And I was being put on Front Street, and so was heaven. So it was like, you know, either you're going to prove that you're here and that you would do and that you actually are active, or you're not. One or the other is going to be the truth. And at least we know. We can stop wasting our time thinking there's some greater force outside of us in the universe that will actually assist in helping us get the things that we desire and get us on the path that we want to be on. And that's best for us to be on. Well, I'm trying to get all those videos. I got some of them up, but I got to get all of them up. So it'll take some time. But one of the videos I posted was about gang stalking, and I was addressing it to the organizers of gang stalking. And I was addressing my family as far as what was keeping everybody so close, tight. You know, I mean, I already knew they were trying to kill me. They had already had me raped. I really couldn't think of what was worse. And then when I did the video to my sister, I had just found out like a couple days ago that my older sister and her husband were very instrumental in the whole setting up the gang stalking through the church. And so I was like, what? You know, it was like, but everything I spoke was just kind of like whatever divinely was inspired for me to say. And one of the things I said in that video was that, you know, I don't know what you did. I just found out you did anything. And then, you know, I was telling her that, you know, I'm like trying to pull teeth and getting mad at everybody. But like, why y'all fucking holding whatever it is that I need to know? I just knew there was something I needed to know. And everybody's like, well, why don't you just do this? And why don't you just move on? And why don't you just go on and do your thing? And yeah, you know, it's just crazy. Oh, you know, you just worried about what you're doing. You know, I mean, just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't have the right to know what the fuck is going on in my life. I mean, that's how these people were acting. Like, how dare you? You don't have to know everything. We don't got to tell you everything. Okay, but then when you start prying into their life, they won't be like, get out my life, get out my life, get out my life. But they're going to see how it feels this week. How it feels. I mean, I wasn't trying to hide shit. But damn, y'all trying to hide some fucking shit. And look how it feels. When you got somebody prying in your life. When you got somebody spying on every little aspect of it. You taking a shit and somebody's right there spying on you. Making sure you ain't talking to nobody, texting nobody. And if you are, what the fuck are you saying? That's what's happening right now. So, I forgot what I was saying. I was saying, you know, I was telling her that, you know, God was just like, look, I'm the one holding this back from you. You survived this and you haven't cracked, but damn it, you know, if you knew what your family did, you would not have survived. You would have most certainly have cracked. Okay, and like I said, I have to trust them. You know, that, you know, he must be right. And then when I found out what it was, I was like, oh yeah. You know, God, you on it. you on it because you right. If y'all would have known all of this up front when I was trying to beg for it to come out, yeah, I probably would have cracked. Yeah, I've been, if not died of a heartbreak. Definitely been in completely nervous breakdown, split mind, like them. Like totally bipolar, schizophrenic, delusional, whatever they are. They are not in touch with reality. I can tell you that for sure. But in long story short, the big secret outside of I found out another one too. I'll tell you about that later. The family big secret was they sent in a guy to kill me, Darren Wilson, to date me, love bomb me, and then kill me. He's had all kind of reasons why he didn't do it. And probably feels like I had the attitude like, well, I didn't kill you, bitch, so whatever happened to you, you should be thanking me. I don't understand how criminals do that, because they were like that out in the streets too. Because all of the orders that was given to beat me, rape me, kill me, just totally destroy me. When people got to know me, they was like, they can't do that, because they realized my family was fucked up. What the fuck y'all doing it? So they would take something or do something really foul, or whatever. But they didn't do as bad as what they were required to do. They were sent out on their orders to do. And so then they would get upset with me because, if I go off on them for doing whatever they did, then they would be like, I could see it behind their eyes. I didn't do what I was told to do to you, so you should be thanking me. I don't get that mentality. You shouldn't do shit. I didn't know you before this. You came to me and to commit a crime against me. I should thank you for not doing this bad of a crime. But be grateful that you only committed some of the crime. I mean, the mentality of these beings. I can't call them human or people, because they're beings. It just blows my mind, because I don't even know how you rationalize that in your fucking mind. I just don't. But that's how he felt. He took some money from my rapist to stand aside, because we were dating at the time. He's professing his love and all that type of shit. To stand aside, to have him, Truman or fake man, super. I call him fake man because he ain't no true man. He's a fake man, super. Christopher Kirby and Shelton Banks and Marilyn Garbana or whatever her name is. I was living in her home and renting her home, and so that she would give them access to me. She put some drugs in the food or drink. That she was a nurse, so she must have got hold of some really powerful stuff, because I was gone. To gang rape me. My whole family and pretty much all of America, the world, knew about it. They took money off of the dividends that they sold on the black market for this. That was distributed by Midnight Productions. So, that was the secret that nobody wanted to say they knew about, and that they also were gaining the dividends for. The sales of it. What? One of the other videos that I talked to, or even earlier on my Facebook page, I outlined all the evidence I had against my family. Things they did that incriminated themselves. Not anything that somebody told me, not some hearsay shit, some stuff that they was doing themselves. And one of the things that it was that there was a guy who was trying to kidnap me. And they heard on the phone, I'm screaming like a white girl in a horror film. And here they are, just acting like it was just another day in the week. They said they called the police. But from what I understand, there's no police record. There's no records of the 911 call. And I couldn't understand why would 2 daughters and a sister, all on 3-way, hearing me scream like I'm screaming and not want to call the police. And so then um, when I found the phone of the guy and my stuff, because when the neighbors picked all the stuff up, I was telling my daughter, I'm like, look, I need to get this to the police. Give me the detective note. It took her 2 days to give me the card, but that was because it would have been longer. It would have been actually 3 days, because it was 2 days and then a half. The next day she gave it to me after I wrote down in my notes, because I was writing down all of the things that I thought was anomalies, things that were not normal in human existence and in everyday life, and it definitely wasn't normal part of my 47 years of life. So I'm writing this down and stuff, and see, because I knew they were in my phone. I wrote things, and see, they don't know this part, but I'm about to say it. I wrote things purposely in my notes to get them to react, and if they didn't read it, then they wouldn't have reacted to it. But if I write something in my notes and they reacted on it the next day, to clear this, oh, she's on to it, so let's cover that up. I knew they were reading my notes. You know what I mean? So I would do shit like that. So the very next day, my daughter gives me the card. I'm just like, what the fuck? And so, but anyway, and then I had a picture of him, and I had his phone number, and I wanted to get all this stuff, and no one helped me. I was way across town. I didn't have a car or anything. Nobody was trying to get me there to get to the police to get that information to him. Now, mind you, if I heard my mother scream the way I screamed, there's no way I wouldn't want that. I don't know who that man is. She been out there on them streets. I don't want him tracking her, following her. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to make sure that man is never going to come back this way or never do that to any other woman. I'm going to do whatever I can. We got evidence. Motherfucker, yeah. We're going to get that to the police. Come on, let's do it. Now we got a picture and the last phone number. Oh, hell, this man is down. He's down. If he ever so much as jaywalk, he's down. No, I didn't get that support. And I asked my daughter, why? Why? I don't understand. If you... it was something that y'all was like, no part of all this bullshit that I'm experiencing. Why wouldn't you help me to take that to the police? And she said, when you associate yourselves with those type of people, that is the kind of thing you can expect to happen. Okay. I took surveys on that one. I literally went down to the hood and asked people, what would you do if your mother did that? Not one person told me anywhere near the behaviors of my family. So I'm saying all of that because that man also raped me earlier that day at the orders of my family. He said, because I wasn't going to have sex with him. And he said something under his breath about how he was going to get grimy or something to that nature. And he was like, Dad said, fuck that bitch if you have to. I mean, rape that bitch if you have to. That was something I had always heard, from other people, and I was just like, this is real. This is some real shit. I outlined my experience and what actually happened and how I survived it. But the moment he did not honor the agreement and by letting me go. And so I jumped out of the car and he started chasing me with the truck. And then he jumped out of the car and he grabbed the mace off of my neck and snatched it. And that's when I started screaming because I was like, that nigga was about to spray me and just grab me, pick me up, and put me in that truck. And I'm gone. And I understand now why they thought nothing of me being raped, me being about to be kidnapped. They thought nothing of it because what they had actually witnessed, caught on videotape, sold by way of Midnight Productions, was something worse. Much worse. Because they gang raped me all night. Over and over and over again. That's what my family did. And that's no word of a lie. There's evidence. No crime committed under the Commission of Gang Stalking is prosecutable. Constitutional agreement, separation between church and state. Now, the constitutional agreement says you have to have 2 eyewitnesses from the church to get it required by the church to report it. Otherwise, even if it's found out, the church is not liable. There's way more than 2 eyewitnesses of the church. You saw the video. Just because you weren't there when it happened, you saw the video. Didn't you, Jeff Smith? Didn't you, Don Smith? Didn't you, Carmen? Sonia? Natalie? Didn't you? So, we are at a point in my faith walk, or walking with heaven. Not much I can do with the Constitution agreement. Yet, everybody from the President of the United fucking State, your former President of the United fucking State, all knew what happened. All. Including you, Mark Zuckerberg. Didn't you? Because you saw the tape too. Now we're starting to put the pieces together as to why Facebook don't want me there. My truth was leading right to the home office of Mark Zuckerberg. And that's what you didn't want, did you? I understand. Makes sense. It didn't stop me from putting the pieces together and saying, this is why. Huh. And public, after I shut down my Facebook page, them motherfuckers kept it up. So that they can still make money off of it. Motherfuckers. So, I went back on there and posted some more shit on there. Just I'm like, oh, if y'all gonna keep it up, I'm gonna talk about your ass and put some more evidence on how you, after I shut down my Facebook, deleted your app from my phone, and then all the evidence of people putting that shit back in my phone. Hacking my account, adding Facebook back into my phone under like a little ghost, hidden app. Shit. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, this is how it is. But this is going to be that time to see the proof of heaven, God. I mean, I have a ton of reasons to stay on his side. I still have a ton of reasons of just personal things that, are more intimate between him and I, and my agreements, and, who comes along to help me. But this would be the defining point, a crossroads, as you would say, of do I take an interest in the public? Mainly because my disillusion was about, not only did these men do this, but programs on YouTube, Facebook, all of them put these rapists as high honor. using their stories for content creating. And all the women in relationships with them in these programs, it just blew my mind. I'm like, not to mention a group, collective group of readers on under one company, which was associated with those who were gang stalking me, watched the rape go down. Not seen the videotape, actually watched it go down, because they would hack your account if you subscribe to their channel. And so then they would hack your account, and then they would spy on you and then use the information that they see in real life in their reading, so that you would believe that they had some type of real extra insight or enlightenment or contact with God or something, but they actually were spying or listening to you. But in that regard, that was when some of the readers in that group watched me be gang raped. Never said anything, just allowed it to happen. And here we are 4 years later, and none of them told me. None of the rapists, none of my family told me. God told me himself. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have known. I really wouldn't have known. No police officer came, no detective came, nobody of authority, nobody. Nobody told me. Everybody was just watching. It was like, oh, we're just like I'm like some live TV show or something that you just want to see. Is she gonna come up with it? How's she gonna get it? What was the bet on that? Whether I was gonna actually figure it out. Who lost? Who lost the bet? Because that was another thing they did. They betted on what I would do, what I wouldn't do, who could break me, who couldn't. All that bullshit, stupid shit. But those one of the defining moments between now and November. What is the outcome going to be? Does a God just allows something like that to go on and be unjust? I have no way to fight it. The powers that be is every religious organization in the world in company, in agreement, unified with government. I'm disposable. One person, my truth coming out and it being validated destroys a huge amount of lives, organizations, incomes, all kind of shit. Because one truth leads to a domino effect of a whole bunch of other truths. Because Truman Super, fake man super. Remember, y'all, he's fake man super, not Truman Super. He's fake man. So if you ever see him, fake man. Okay? Not Truman. And I have authority to change it to that, because you ain't shit. He masturbated. I mean, the man, I have to give it to him. I do have to give it to him, because he committed the greatest crime. He found out that no crime committed under the Commission of Gang Stalking is prosecutable. Your name has to be on the permit to gang stalk from the government. And by the compliments of Jeffrey Smith and Dawn Smith, he was right there on the list. He took that opportunity to commit all sorts of crimes, including murder. They can't do nothing to him. It's their law. They cannot do anything to him. He gets away with it. He gets away with gang raping me, because I would never, all three of them, because I would never fuck them again. He gets away with it. Now the other two don't get away with it because they weren't on the gang stalking list. So, no, I could do something about that. But then that leaked the videotape. Only 2 people have it. Dude, what are you doing with one, Jeff? What are you doing with one? Because you had to give it to Midnight Productions? Truman wasn't connected with Midnight Productions. You were. So until that other person turns over that tape, I can't prove it. It's all just an illusion. I'll be back with more details.